What up YouTube? Salvador Bregman here. Let's talk about raising crowdfunding dollars for a business. So if you're a business, how do you actually use websites like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, equity crowdfunding, nonprofit fundraising? How do you use crowdfunding to get funds for your business? So the first thing that I want to say here is that there are different types of crowdfunding out there. There are rewards-based crowdfunding platforms. Those are Kickstarter, Indiegogo, ones like that, Seed and Spark. These are platforms where when you are asking for funds, basically what you're saying is, hey, I want to raise $50,000, but when you give money to this campaign, I'm also going to be giving you something back. So if I support a crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter, in addition to giving you the funds, I'm also going to get something out of that. And usually that is a pre-order for the product. So by pre-order, I mean that if I'm trying to produce more cell phone cases, I have a campaign on Indiegogo or Kickstarter raising money to create this cool new cell phone case. When I support, as a backer, this project, I'm going to get a cell phone case in the mail, in 3 months or in 4 months, once you finalize the production run of the actual product. So with Kickstarter, the drawback is that yes, you are getting funding. There's no strings attached, like no one's investing equity in your campaign. You aren't giving away an equity stake in your overall company, but you are under the obligation to fulfill the promises that you make to these backers. So if you promise that you're going to raise money to create a cell phone case, you also have to ship that case out to the individuals, depending on what types of rewards you have. Like maybe you have other kind of cell phone accessories as well in your rewards, like a charger or different colors of the case, etc. So that's something you gotta be aware of. That is a cost. Just because you raise, let's just say $100,000 on Kickstarter, doesn't mean $100,000 is going into your bank account. What it means is, after you've spent the money to ship out all of those products to your backers, you will have a sum of money left over, and that is your profit for the campaign, and you can use that to reinvest back into your business or whatever. So the benefits of doing a rewards-based campaign on Kickstarter or Indiegogo is, number one, you're getting funding. Number two, it helps you fund the initial production run of your product. Number three, you're basically gaining access to early adopters. These are people that are interested in supporting new projects, they're interested in new products, etc. And you're getting that email list going. You're developing a relationship with these customers, so in the future you can sell even more products to them down the road, or you can run another campaign on Kickstarter or Indiegogo. And finally, I think that one of the most powerful components of a Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaign is actually the marketing and the media. The fact that because you're running a public campaign, you can be talked about by bloggers, you can be shared in the media, you can have people on online forums discussing your product because it is public, how much funding it's getting. So it's a big media, I guess not fiasco, but a big media draw, if you will. It's kind of like a big, not a publicity stunt, but just a valid reason why people should check out your work and why you are a notable company doing something cool in your industry. The final thing I would say is that with crowdfunding, many of the people and the business owners that have come on my show, Crowdfunding Demystified, they've basically come on and said, I had this conception of how the product was going to be, but throughout this process of creating the prototypes, filming the video, doing the marketing, talking with customers, I've actually come to see people actually really resonate with this part of the product. They actually love this part of it rather than what I actually thought they would. So it caused us to change all of the marketing. It's caused us to refocus our overall benefits of the product and what we communicate to customers. And that's led to a massive growth for our company. So by doing crowdfunding, you're sort of putting your business through this process, and you're honing the idea. You're getting more touch points with customers, and you're getting a better sense of what they like about what product that you're creating. So now on the flip side, you have rewards based on one side, which is Kickstarter, Indiegogo. On the flip side, you have equity crowdfunding. Equity crowdfunding being, it's kind of like, rather than giving money to your campaign, investors, these are people that are investing in your company. When they give you, quote unquote, money, they're expecting equity back. So these are people that are, it depends on the type of project you're running. The first thing with equity crowdfunding is just that there are different tiers that you're going to be raising money under. So you could be doing, for example, a Regulation A+ equity crowdfunding campaign on a platform like Start Engine. With Regulation A+, you're able to raise, I think it's upwards of $50 million in a year's time span. And everyone who supports your campaign can be an accredited or a non-accredited investor. The downsides with a Regulation A+ is just it's a very big, onerous legal requirement to go through this. And you do have to make, to a certain degree, your financial raise public. But at the same time, you're getting investment dollars. People are rallying around this cool new project that you have, and it's really a great way to get the word out about your overall company. You can also do a test the waters period with a Regulation A+ campaign. We're getting really nerdy here, but I love being nerdy. we're doing a test the waters period where you can basically offer people to have a non-binding indication of interest that should you do a Regulation A+ campaign, that they will want to back it. So it's kind of a way to gather interest in actually doing a funding campaign via Regulation A+ as an equity crowdfunding raise. Now this is one type of raise. Another type of equity crowdfunding raise, it's what's called Regulation CF, Regulation Crowdfunding, or Title III. So under a Title III raise, you're allowed to raise upwards of $1 million in a year's time span. There's some other, basic implications, other things that go into this, but I'm just gonna keep this very high level for the sake of the video. So you're able to do that. And it's also publicly available to non-accredited investors. So non-accredited investors, ordinary retail investors, can invest money into this equity crowdfunding campaign. So it's the purest sense of like Kickstarter for equity crowdfunding, which is pretty freaking cool. So we see a lot of different companies on like WeFunder, Seed Invest, there are a bunch of other platforms out as well where you can raise money, AngelList, for equity crowdfunding campaigns. If you're doing Title III campaigns, WeFunder thus far has been one of the leaders in this demographic. So for Title III raises, there's also some legal requirements there. There are also some requirements on actually soliciting investment for the actual campaign. You're going to have to do a little bit more research there. I have a lot of content on my blog if you are interested in that. Now finally, under equity crowdfunding, we're going through all these different things. Finally, under equity crowdfunding, there is a traditional equity crowdfunding campaign where you would basically raise money from accredited angel investors. Accredited angel investors who are high net worth individuals. They make over $200,000 a year or over a $1 million net worth. These are people who basically can afford a financial loss. When you do an equity crowdfunding campaign under these regulations, it is not available to retail investors. They can't invest. Only people that have the wherewithal to put the accredited investor status on their holdings, their assets, and the amount of money that they make. So that's another type of equity crowdfunding. And also a lot of these angel investors will operate in what are called angel investment syndicates. So an angel investment syndicate might have a lead investor, and there can be like carry involved and all these other things. That's another video, quite frankly. It's a lot to go into, but just something to be aware of, that there are also angel investment syndicates on websites like AngelList, where you can check out some more about equity crowdfunding. So the thing you should know, we just went through a lot of very logical, nerdy, technical details when it comes to equity crowdfunding, when it comes to crowdfunding. The thing you should know is that there are benefits and costs associated with every type of crowdfunding. There's rewards-based crowdfunding and there is equity crowdfunding. The number one thing I want you to take away is that yes, you can raise funds from the crowd. There is a proven strategy and formula to do this. It's not like the Wild West anymore. There are consultants, there are mentors like me, there are people that will hold your hand as you're going through this process. There is an industry here, people that help you market your campaign and advertise it, etc. So the number one thing you should take away is, yes, you can do this. The second thing you should take away is the type of offering that you want to do. Do you want to allow people to pre-order your product? Do you want to allow people to invest in your company? What type of reporting requirements do you want, and can you finance? How do you want to actually structure this? This is the main question that should be on your mind after you listen to this video. So I hope you enjoyed this little bit of breakdown when it comes to crowdfunding for a business. And if you are interested in learning more, I have some links down below to get you started with equity crowdfunding as well. If you are interested in more videos like this, my name is Sal. You can hit subscribe. You'll get notifications when new videos come out. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got something out of it. My name is Sal, and I'll see you next time.